Hello everyone, welcome back to Kazuma Kiryu Kiwami Super Ultra Sexy Edition. I'm Dan.
Oh, now I'm going to say something, and it might be the most controversial thing I've ever said.
Oh god, I better get ready to turn off the recording.
Yeah, it's actually a hot take.
Okay.
The Superior Spider-Man suit sucks.
How could you say that? Superior Spider-Man is so good. Suit included.
Yeah, but I don't even care about. I don't even talk about the story. But people like the suit, and I look at it and I'm like, it's literally just that one painting Alex Ross did. I don't even like it when Alex Ross did it.
Yeah, it's not really a good suit.
It's just like, oh, here's the classic costume, but a little bit worse. And granted, I'm the kind of person who like takes the classic Spidey suit, and I say that is in like triple S tier, and then like the tier list goes that, and then the black suit, and then everything else is mostly trash.
Yeah, and I think only the classic and symbiote are the only ones I like.
I mean, they're the ones I like, but they're not like amazing. They're not great. Like I like the OG Spider armor, but
oh yeah. Like I mean, like that's like.
But that one's like just a side thing. It's not like any of these attempts at redesigns.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't even talking about like the side stuff. I was talking about like like cause in a way, because to be fair, Symbiote Spider-Man was originally a redesign.
Oh yeah, it's a rip. I mean, it's also a rip-off of Julia Carpenter's suit.
It's true.
But nobody remembers her, so
it's true.
It's fine now. It's Spider-Man's suit. It is. You made this. You made this. I made this.
It's the first time Peter reappropriated something. Not the last though.
He does that.
He does that, especially in movies. In video games.
But yeah, it's this kind of thing of. I see people say list all their favorite suits, and Superior Spider suit comes up, and I'm like, but it sucks. Like, as I said, it's literally the same suit Alex Ross like did in a painting that floated around because it was part of like the sort of design for the first Raimi movie. And I was like, there's a reason the Raimi movie didn't do it.
And then Dan Slott was like, but I like that.
Now who cares what Dan Slott thinks?
Yeah, but I like making fun of Dan Slott.
Yeah, true.
Like, is it never not fun to make fun of Dan Slott?
Award-winning comic book writer and misogynist Dan Slott.
And misogynist.
No, he's an award-winning misogynist.
True.
He won the misogyny awards for misogyny.
I don't know. Zeb might be the bigger misogynist.
Oh yeah, fuck. I guess we could talk about that.
Yeah.
Because so New York Comic Con happened, and honestly, I don't think much interesting actually came of New York Comic Con, which.
The most interesting stuff was my friend went there, and he's now addicted to Gunpla too.
That's good. But Zeb Wells and Nick Lowe, Zeb Wells, the writer of the current run of Amazing Spider-Man, which I've been reliably informed is perhaps the worst run of Amazing Spider-Man.
Which says a lot, honestly, when you think about it. Like, that's a pretty high bar to go over, being worse than the things in the past.
And Nick Lowe, who has been an editor since everyone's favourite terrible storyline, you guessed it, It's One More Day. The one storyline that everyone hates, but Marvel is like, we can't possibly run this
and
back.
Actively has hurt the industry.
Well, it's hurt Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But did you know Ultimate Spider-Man outsold Amazing Spider-Man right up until they added MJ back into Amazing?
That's really funny, and I'm not surprised.
Hilarious.
MJ is popular despite Marvel hating her.
Well, MJ's hugely popular. I've said to other people.
No, she is. But I'm saying, like, she's popular despite Marvel itself hating her. Because it seems like internally they fucking hate her.
Seemingly so. Or at least editorial do, and specifically I mentioned this in regards to Nick Lowe, who has, as I said, been editor since, I believe, One More Day. He's definitely one of the people who was really big on the idea and is insistent that, even though literally everyone hates it and it's damaged our sales, you know, the most important thing we could be doing as a company, clearly everyone else is at fault, and we really need to tell all of these really interesting stories, all of these other love interests for Peter Parker. Go on, I'll wait, you can name them. Did you know Mockingbird is one of those? Fucking Mockingbird.
There was a short time with Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
But then again, who hasn't Kitty Pryde had been a love interest to at least once?
Exactly.
That doesn't say much.
I know why she's called Shadow Cat, because she's always in heat. But,
like, if I said Jubilee, that'd at least have some weight to it, but... Kitty?
I blame Ultimate Comics, because they did that.
Mm.
But I mean... So yeah, they decided to have a comic book they had a panel at New York Comic Con for people to ask questions. Fans asking questions, and the questions basically amounted to, so when are you gonna undo one more day?
They really should just. That's the thing that I talked about before with the comic industry that I hate is all of these really shitty, infamous storylines are the things that they will double down and keep forever. And if anything is made that people like and is good, they immediately try to fucking take it out back and shoot it as hard as they can.
The stupid thing is, at this point, about the only bad Spider-Man storyline that still exists that hasn't been like retconned into oblivion since we undid Sid's past. It was kind of a stupid way, but we still undid Sid's past. Is one more day. And like, man, it's just the fucking getting the response that was basically like, so a fan asked, so are Peach and MJ ever going to get back together again? And the response is, well, in order to find out the answer to that question, you'll have to spend $5.99. And I'm like, no, I won't. I'm going to be king of the pirates.
It's like, no, actually, first off, I know the answer. The answer is no. Second off, I'm not giving you my money.
It might actually happen sooner than we think, though, because from what I understand, there is going to be a big shake-up of editorials over at Marvel. And if Nick Lowe goes, because part of the other problem is Nick Lowe likes to hire people who agree with him. He's one of those types.
Not surprising.
Yeah, I mean, it makes absolute sense, and just actively doesn't hire people who he knows also won't, do it. But you know what else I did
What do you mean you don't want to be weird about MJ and Peter?
You know what else they did find funny? They announced another fucking Ultimate Spider-Man comic book that everyone's way more excited for because it's like, hey, what if we just did Peter Parker but he's got a happy life with a marriage?
Yeah, it's almost like that's what people want.
Crazy, I know.
The only people who don't want are people in the Marvel internally, and I don't understand it. Everybody else but people working at Marvel want it.
I can't even work out, like, what the justification at this point it can even be.
Their own depression.
Because it can't even be like, oh, well, we want to try Pete with other love interests, because that literally didn't work. Even when you had fucking Joe Quesada's daughter as the love interest.
Which, by the way, is still kind of weird.
Pretty fun.
Like, there's something really just seems weird about that one. And I can't explain why, but my instincts are just like, stranger danger.
He's not a stranger, he's her father.
That's worse!
Maybe so, not a stranger.
You get what I mean, though.
I mean, it is a very interesting perspective to have. And I just find it...
Actually, to be fair, what's still weirder is the fact that apparently, the DOA creator dude based Ayane off of his daughter, and you've seen how Ayane is. And that's a little... That's a little,
That's dead or alive for you.
Anyway.
I was gonna say, it's hardly like the weirdest thing you probably would have... It's like, you can say a lot of things and I'd be like, oh yeah, dead or alive.
I mean, also she's a rape baby. It's not even a joke.
Yeah, that makes total sense for the
I'm dead, seriously?
I know you are. I know dead or alive lore.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the game, but I do know about it. Although you told me the fifth one was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And it didn't have Itagaki in it.
I'll give Dead or Alive this as a franchise. I've always found it at least more visually interesting for character designs. No, not in that way. Because, I mean, it's got Ryu Hayabusa in, and that's already, like, makes it way better than combat.
I mean, Ryu Hayabusa's the hottest one anyway.
I mean, yeah. But there's this old, there's this old parody comic, I swear I've shown it to you, that basically made fun of Avengers vs. X-Men.
Oh god, Avengers vs. X-Men.
Yeah, terrible storyline. But that's not important. What is important is I always remember there's one line in that comic, in that parody not dub, but like rewrite, where it just pointed out that it just says 1 in 5 Kate marriages will end due to Spidey ass, and it's like, yeah, yeah, probably.
Not wrong.
It always reminds me when people were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this Spidey." Like, it was pretty like wig stuff.
Oh, wait, you're talking about the Spider-Woman cover?
Yeah,
I do remember that. And it was like literally
like,
just a redo of a Peter Parker cover that was done the same exact way, ass up included.
Yeah, no one cares about Peter Parker, but
listen, I am equal opportunity fan service. Just do everybody. Fuck it.
hey,
Something for everyone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about people getting to see Spidey, but
yeah,
it's half the point.
I'm not gonna be Puritan and be like, oh, you can't do it to, whatever. No, fuck that. There's nothing wrong with being like, yeah, man, that ass is fucking... Boom, I like it! I like the... Ow! There's nothing wrong with that.
That is an ass that can ruin my marriage any day.
But yeah, it's, dumb.
I wouldn't sell my marriage to the devil, but I would sell my marriage for that ass. There we go. Got away with saying... I think that should dissuade my points about, oh, I like Dead or Alive for the character designs. No, but seriously, I do like Zack and Ryu, like, the best Dead or Alive cast.
I mean, what was it? Ayani's, like, has some cool designs, and her, as I was mentioning, making fun of her a second ago.
Oh yeah, she's fine.
I like the ones you just mentioned. I like, because I'm going through my head, and I like Mila, who's from 5. I don't like the characters they made later after that, like Hinoka and fucking Mary Rose. There's more designs I don't like than like, but at least they look like character designs, and they don't look like NPC characters that were pretending are the main characters in Mortal Kombat.
You know, you remember those quote-unquote guest design characters in Soul Calibur 4?
Yeah.
The ones that aren't, like, actually characters, but they're, like, basically made by someone in create a character. And then they're like, this was guest designed
Some of them are. Some of them have parts that you literally can't.
You can't get them, but, like, they're not using, like, unique moves or anything. They're just, like, slightly unique assets. And then, like, this character was designed by X. It kind of felt like that for a lot of the early Dead or Alive cast.
Yeah.
Nothing really interesting or unique about them. They're just kind of... We're just saying, oh, this was allegedly designed by... I don't know, someone.
Like Mortal Kombat characters have that same thing where they look like NPC characters, or, like, things that you would... Like, they look like either things you would find in a game as a mook you would beat up, or, like, a monster you would fight in D&D. Not like a named one. Like Shao Kahn, aside from the fact that his mask is stupid because there's teeth at the front, he looks like some like level 1 boss you'd fight like early in the campaign, and then you'd kill him, and you get like you get like one magic item from him.
Do you know what I think Mortal Kombat characters look like?
Okay.
They look like parody Mortal Kombat characters. I don't think I've ever seen what. I don't
understand. Parody Mortal Kombat? I don't understand that.
Like, you know when you watch like shows or shows or anything like Simpsons or whatever, and they're like, we're gonna do a Mortal Kombat reference. We're not gonna call it Mortal Kombat. It's gonna be like
Mortal Wombat.
Yeah. And you look at the designs, it's like those honestly could just be Mortal Kombat characters, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference most of the time. I mean, hell, they've literally just made like the same design 7 times.
What? No, the ninja. I mean, Lin Kuei. They're not ninja.
Oh, okay. But this one's a reptile sometimes. Sometimes he's just a dude.
I learned that even though the reptile design is the cooler design objectively, I learned Mortal Kombat fans prefer the non-reptile design. I'm like, you guys are the sauceless.
Of course
you are the most boring motherfuckers around. Of course you like the worst design. Hi, Sabo.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what started this whole rant.
Spider-Man.
What about him?
We were talking about Spider-Man's ass.
Yeah, actually.
This is a joke.
I was explaining how I would sell my marriage for that ass. God, I hope that was a bit. and it's not like
There he
a bit.
is.
Was it a bit or was it an accident?
No, that was a bit.
Okay, good. You know what? You get a gold
By
star.
the way, this fucking fight is annoying because he has on a sliver of health and the AI decided he was gonna dodge all of my attacks for like a whole minute and waste so many of my goddamn healing items.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Fucker! I'm glad he broke his neck, died, and got run over by a truck. I mean, Kiryu Kazuma doesn't kill people.
Yeah, these things happen. Well, Kiryu didn't kill him. The truck killed him.
Hmm.
He's fine. He just lays there beaten and bruised, and he's sad because his dream was broken.
But, yeah, we were... It was launched off of the pad of us talking about...
Kiryu kill people, he breaks their dreams.
But if I was to go back all the way to the beginning, it was Spider-Man, but it was starting with, like, us talking about Zeb Wells and them at the Comic-Con, and basically saying, we know you hate this, but fuck you. And then it kind of launched into this whole thing, and then somehow we got into Spider-Man's ass, and I was like, yeah, I'm pro fan service for everyone.
You were going to like it.
Because I was like,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with the fucking... Because I was like, the Spider-Woman cover was just a Spider-Man cover, and ass is fine. Ass for everyone.
It's been like a decade. Why don't they like this yet? They like everything else we throw out.
It's been 15 years, mate.
Isn't that how it works? We throw out the material and the peasants eat it up because they're stupid peasants that don't know any better.
I was telling this to Dan that apparently, for the longest time, for quite a significant time after One More Day, Ultimate Spider-Man outsold Amazing Spider-Man by.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, that's the funny thing. Do you know what weirdly coincidentally happened that made Amazing Spider-Man finally outsell it?
It's probably something stupid. So no.
No, they brought back Mary Jane.
Oh, well, yeah, that explains
Literally,
it.
like the issue she comes back. Oh, suddenly it outsells Ultimate.
Yeah, because we were talking about how
bizarre.
it seems like Marvel internally fucking hates Mary Jane.
It's just Nick Lowe, I think. Well, and whoever Nick Lowe hires for his
Yes, because she's a pretty model / actress, and that goes against Peter Parker's everyman loser.
Do you think like he was like
Yeah,
turned down by like an attractive redhead? And he's been mad about it ever since.
Oh yeah, that's why he totally gets with Mockingbird. You know, that really down to earth character. Mockingbird.
I
mean,
think
the only
this
advantage of that is it does make Hawkeye sad, and I'm always for that. Fuck Hawkeye, he sucks. People only like if people says, "Oh, I like Hawkeye," it's like, no, you like Jeremy Renner. You do not like Hawkeye. Hawkeye is the trash.
You mean like how they don't like Iron Man? They just like the actor playing Iron Man?
Yeah.
I liked Iron Man.
Well,
I
like
believe
Iron Man
you, and you
Even
alone.
when he was a fascist, I was like, you know what? Fair.
You want to have that in recording?
Yeah.
We said worse.
Yeah, we've definitely said worse.
Oh,
I don't know if we said pro-fascism before.
I didn't say pro-fascism in real life. I said pro-fascism in the Marvel universe. There's a difference.
He's right, you know.
Do you trust those lunatics to rule themselves? Maybe Dr. Doom has a point.
So are you then pro Carol Danvers fascism?
No.
Oh, what's the difference? Just so I know.
The difference is I liked Carol when she wasn't a fascist.
When she was just existed and didn't do anything.
I liked Carol when she was just this random Power Girl ripoff who existed and didn't do anything, but occasionally showed up and punched people. I was like, I can get behind a character like that.
I mean, that's better than being a fascist, to be fair.
Oh yeah, I don't like her being a fascist because they kind of ruined the thing I liked about her.
I can tell you why.
Iron Man, I just like it when he flies around and punches people in his suit. He could be a fascist, he could be not a fascist. I don't really care as long as he's flying around and shooting people.
I can actually tell you a legitimate reason why Iron Man fascist is better than Carol Danvers fascist.
Okay.
Because Carol Danvers fascist also comes with a very awkward air, because her storyline involves basically trying to murder Miles Morales for a crime he hasn't committed.
You're right.
So it also has an air of, isn't this a wee bit, are you just a wee bit racist, Carol?
I mean, have you seen her haircut? She might be. I'm just saying, a lot of blondes with that style.
I mean, I think it's just Marvel. I mean, you saw what they did with Asgard under his rule.
I'm just saying, whenever you see blondes with that hairstyle, they're usually racist, right, Terrastron? But,
I do remember, for everyone who loves original Gwen Stacy, there was that one time where...
Oh god, original Gwen.
There was that one time where she was like, "Man, this white supremacist guy makes some very compelling points."
Oh
I would
god!
point out this is also a character who, as soon as he found out was a white supremacist, J. Jonah Jameson was like, "You get that fucking shit out of here right now, or I'll beat you or I'll beat you."
By the way, actually, JJ is also pro mutants. By the way,
Yeah, JJ's pro most things. He just doesn't like
he
Spider-Man.
just doesn't like
Because,
Spider-Man.
he just like he jumps with the most ridiculous hoops to dislike Spider-Man, but being okay with anyone else who's a hero.
Yeah,
At that point, it's just a gag.
he just doesn't like Spider-Man.
Just fucking hate Spider-Man.
I will say that is one thing I'm a bit.
It's like the Narutaki in Decade. He just hates Decade. He's okay with all the other Kamen Riders.
Honore Spider-Man.
Spider.
It's like it's okay, Gaim. I'll give you a train ticket, but I thought you hate Kamen Riders. No, I love all Kamen Riders unless they're Decade.
Fuck him.
Honestly, yeah, I get it. Especially now we don't even have Decade, we've got Legend.
Yes. Very sad.
Who's like Decade, but
He's like Decade, but he's gold.
yeah.
And he's played by some celebrity who's probably not going to be able to be in the show, so I question that logic, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see. So that's one thing I am just dreading about Spider-Man 2. Because I've been kind of thinking about their portrayal of JJ as just, Alex Jones. And I'm like, man, that is just really boiling down a character who I think's, pretty complex and...
Man, he's making the frogs gay!
Yeah, basically. I mean, he does basically accuse Spider-Man of eating pigeons in one of his things. It's an amusing bit, but as I say, for a supporting cast member who's been there since more or less day one.
Well, they gotta modernize him because if he was just some random newspaper person, they'll be like, who cares? Nobody reads the newspapers anymore.
Yeah, but
why does New York care what some newspaper editor has to say about Spider-Man? But if he's like this big web guy, then they're like, oh, we gotta listen to him.
It's less his role, it's less the role in him doing that job, but it's just more of the way it's portrayed. Because I don't know, one of the more things I really loved about one of the more recent Spider-Man runs was they had Jameson find out that Peter was Spider-Man. They had such a great dynamic of both simultaneously hating each other and really getting along. And there's this great moment where JJ is talking to the Human Torch, and he's like, "Wait, I'm just here to help Spider-Man. I too am here to help Spider. Wait, do you know? Do you know?" It's just nice to have that because I don't know. I always felt like JJ, for all of his faults, was always pretty obvious about liking Peter Parker, or at least not willing to sell him out to supervillains when they rock up into the Daily Bugle asking, "Hey, who takes the photos of Spider-Man?"
He's like, I ain't telling you shit. I don't know. Who are you talking about? Who? I don't know. I just find them.
Pictures of Spider-Man. If I had those, I wouldn't be asking for them, would I?
The photographer? What name so?
And also, an aforementioned time he found out a guy was a white supremacist and was like, "You get the fuck out. You get the fuck out now." Meanwhile, Gwen Stacy. This guy makes a lot of sense. But, she's Peter Parker's one true love. That's why every adaptation of Gwen Stacy is nothing like Gwen Stacy.
But that reminded me, though, of the Gwen Stacy being like, oh, KKK is fine. It reminds me of, there was, in the 90s, you remember the era when they were like, yeah, there can only be one Kryptonian, and Supergirl was always something weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name?
Do you remember the Angel Supergirl?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know where this is going?
Go on, tell me.
So they did a thing where there was a bunch of KKK doing a demonstration, and Steel was fucking pissed for obvious reasons, and her going, "No, it's okay. They're allowed to."
I never heard of that before.
It's freedom of speech.
Yeah, thanks, Angel. Thanks, Angel Supergirl.
It's a good thing she died, right?
Man, am I glad we got an actual Supergirl back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they decided, that's dumb. Let's just bring her back.
Fuck it, right?
Who thought this was a good idea?
I don't know, same person who thought nuking all marriages in DC was a good idea.
I don't think it was Joe Quesada. I don't think he had anything to do with DC yet.
No, he didn't. But don't you remember? There was a time where DC was like, none of our characters will be married ever.
Oh yeah.
And all the characters who were married suddenly weren't because of retcons, which, you know, is one thing. But then but then you got to like weird cases like Aquaman, where it's like, oh no, like Aquaman isn't married, but Mira is still his queen. And I remember the writers being like, yeah, we don't get it either.
Now they just like, well, you know, like people are old and unhip if they're married.
Oh yeah.
The youth isn't going to be able to identify with them.
Oh yeah, because the youth were always clamoring for Aquaman. I like Aquaman.
That's what I was gonna say. And then at some point they realized, the most of our audience are like
Old
dudes that are age 30 and up, not kids, because kids don't read comic books anymore. So maybe we should, stop with all of this.
Yeah, because they ruined comic books for people with all of this stupid bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, what kid wants to read a Spider-Man where he sells his marriage to the devil?
I mean, to be honest, I'm sure there probably are a couple kids that are like, oh yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah, probably, but
That's my fetish.
you can get better. You can go to other places for that. I'm sure there's an
probably.
isekai. I'm sure there's an isekai for it.
There's an isekai for everything.
There's an isekai for that.
But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you do all of these big dumb events, and you turn Captain America into a Nazi, or Dr. Octopus mindjacks Pete like Spider-Man, and
I mean, the Captain America into a Nazi was always like going to be a temporary thing.
They're always that. Nobody.
But that's also kind of the point.
Yeah, but I mean, even Marvel was like.
But that's
like,
the point that he's saying, though, is that...
You know what? I mean, when Doc Ock stole Peter Parker's body, everyone was like, this is going to be there forever.
Literally nobody believed that.
Except Dan Slott.
Yeah, Dan
Slott was the only one who thought it was forever.
Dan Slott was like, maybe if I make him compelling enough, Marvel will let me keep him as Doc Ock. No.
And then he was really sad when he wasn't.
Maybe if I steal Alex Ross's design for a spider suit, then maybe people will like it.
They didn't
Still
like it.
annoyed at that. People do like the Superior Spider-Man suit.
Well, they're saying that they like it now, but they don't.
You know what is a good spider suit? Kane's Scarlet Spider suit.
Yeah.
That is a good spider suit. You know, I'm glad that's not that. That's not returning to Spider-Man 2, because I did look up a couple of the suits that weren't in.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, so we can't have the cool Scarlet Spider suit. Do we at least get, like, Ben Reilly's Amazing Spider-Man suit? Because I've always kind of liked that, and it's never shown up in anything. No? Okay, no, I guess we're not having that either. We've got to have all of the MCU movie suits, though. Like this
Disney
one.
mandate.
It's like, hey look, it's just
like the new face.
It's just like the latest Marvel movie.
Even though they keep insisting that's not what it is.
Please go back and see our Marvel movies. Please give us your billions again. We don't know what's going on and we're losing all our money.
I fucking hate the new face because, at least from what I've seen, it definitely makes it so Miles looks older than Peter Parker.
He does!
Like, why does he have to have baby face? There's nothing
like,
wrong
there are
with
people
the old
there are people
face.
that look younger, and that's, normal, because I usually get mistaken for being younger than I am. But, like, the other face was good, and it was better animated, and it just worked.
Do you believe them, or do you...
No.
Or
I don't believe anyone.
I was going to say, because I get that too, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Oh, wait, no, oh, wait, do I believe them? At this point, considering I've had enough, I think maybe...
When I went to buy my new car, and the guy was like, "Yeah, you look pretty young. You look like you're 22." And I was like, "What?"
Like, I get it from, like... Well,
not even close.
Well, that's a car dealer. They want to say whatever they think will make you happy. I'm talking about just like...
No, he thought like he was talking me into buying my first car.
Oh.
Which, like, okay, I mean, I'm pretty sure if he thought I was like an older person that had already owned multiple cars, he would have had a different sales pitch for me. So I was like,
never mind
what?
Then.
Okay, like, what the hell?
But yeah, no, I get it.
I haven't happened to me a bunch, but more specifically, I remember one of my older sisters was like, "Oh yeah, it's my 40th birthday." I'm like, "Fuck off, are you 40?" Like, actually, just kind of angry that she would try and lie to me because she doesn't look it. And then it's like, oh, I did the math. Wait, no, she is 40. Shit. So I definitely, it does happen. People do just like look freakishly like young. Oh.
Ah, the old Japanese media slap.
Sometimes you've got to knock some sense into people.
Slap. Slip. Slap. Slip or slap a
Okay,
day.
so they want him to look. They want him to look like Tom Holland, although I don't think Tom Holland looks like. He still looks age appropriate for Peter Parker.
Well, you're sort of talking about that.
But I'm like, I don't think he looks like a 18-year-old anymore.
Well, the problem is, right, you've also got the Spider-Man in the Spider-Man games is meant to be 18. He's meant to be in like
his late 20s.
His mid-20s, yeah.
Like mid to late.
Well, I think it's 8 years after he started being Spider-Man, and he started being Spider-Man when he was 15, so he's 23.
Okay, so he's actually a little younger. So honestly, that face does make sense, the new one, to be fair. Because he's not that much older than Miles, because Miles is like 16, 15, right?
He's 15 in Spider-Man,
Okay.
so whoever old he is by the time of Spider-Man 2.
Knowing video games, it's probably like a year or two. Or, you know, question mark time.
I mean, people are already complaining about the Spanish translation, so
Of what?
of Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know.
Yeah, I also don't speak Spanish, so
I don't
sorry
speak
for that.
Spanish either. I just like
I
saw
can't
somebody
comment
doing
on
a
it.
video on it.
Well, I don't really. I've tried to avoid YouTube because A,
You know,
they've got mad about my ad block, and B, if I load up that front page, it will just be literally all the spoilers in the world.
yeah, probably.
So, also, yeah, still annoyed about that because it's like, it'd be one thing if it was like you were just getting, if it was like, okay, you're just getting the ads on the videos, but you're not. You're getting the ads on the fucking pages, the ads on the fucking sidebars, and then even when you actually get to the video, you're not in the video because then the in-video ad starts playing with people telling you to buy Raid Shadow Legends or NordVPN or HelloFresh. Not sponsored, by the way. Contact us, please.
Yeah, there's some kind of, I don't know. Someone said there's something's going on with YouTube.
It's Google being greedy because they only have infinity money and they want.
Yeah,
infinity
but they said they're doing it because they're gonna do some major change in like a couple months that like they need all those ads for. That I didn't quite catch what it was.
You know what? Maybe if they'd have just not done Stadia, they could have afforded to run YouTube without ads. Just saying. But then it's okay, because if you don't want to have ads, you can just buy YouTube Premium, which is like £13. Like, what the fuck? That's like the price of at least 3 streaming services. Fucking ridiculous. Google's just evil. And I can say that because they got rid of their Do No Evil like slogan. And let's be honest, you only do that if you're intending to do some evil.
Do no evil, we better get rid of that.
Oh, sorry, look, if you look on the docket, we've got evil.
It's like when Pokemon got rid of "Gotta catch 'em all" slogan because you can't catch them all anymore because they're not all programmed in the game.
I mean, they eventually do become, but I think part of it was because everyone was getting. I think part of it was they got told off by. It might have been the FTC about it basically being like a slogan that was used as marketing for kids. So. But then, you know, it's not as if it needs it anymore because it's like the biggest media franchise on the planet. Like, probably the one thing that basically makes it so Nintendo can never be bought because they own Pokemon and Pokemon just prints money.
Also, Nintendo can never be bought because they're a Japanese company and it's against the law for them to be bought out by a overseas corporation. I mean, someone in Japan could buy them, I guess, but
be pretty difficult. I was just obviously thinking in the light of...
Which is funny because the Prime Minister of Japan the other day did a press conference asking for foreign companies and BlackRock to invest in them.
Well,
And Japan got, and all his underlings and the citizens got really mad when he said that.
Should be careful because he knows what happens to Japanese prime ministers who rock the boat now.
Yeah, that's true. So people like people are like people were saying, "Oh, so that's what happened to Abe."
I mean, Abe was also quite nationalistic.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like everyone. I know everyone was like, "Oh man, it's a tragedy he died." I'm not saying it's good that he died, but Abe was very popular with a very conservative crowd.
Yeah.
So it's hardly surprising some of the rhetoric and shit he was spouting.
I spent most of my time telling my parents that he wasn't said Abe, because they're like, "I heard Prime Minister Abe died." I'm like, "That's not how you say his name."
I can't believe
Oh,
Lincoln got shot.
Well, that's how it's read. Oh man, Proto Man shot him.
wait. We say if Abe got shot? Oh no. Do you think that guy just started chatting? Do you think he just started chatting on his podium? You were fucked up now.
Ah! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! He was just taunting this poor guy, and then he real quick 3D printed a gun and shot him.
No, he like shoved something up his butt, so they said he shot him so that it
Oh.
was less embarrassing.
He just started
Do
kicking.
you protect Mr. Lincoln?
He's beating my. That's it. I'm gonna smack him in the butt with his hammer. Ah! He's beating my butt!
Actual audio recording of Shinzo Abe's assassination.
Calm down, just calm down! It's so fun to quote, too. It's such a funny bit. It's so good. Calm down, just calm down!
I mean, there's definitely like some comedy skits I will always sort of follow me for all time. There's that one, The Grapist I always come back to. Because it just keeps becoming more relevant. And then there's a bunch of British only ones that I might have mentioned before. And I'll probably have to show some of them at some point, but like there's one that's about a superhero duo, one called the BMX Bandit and the other one called the Angel Summoner.
No, I don't know this one.
The joke is that the BMX Bandit can ride a BMX, and the Angel Summoner can summon a horde of invisible angelic beings that just do everything. So there is also one by the same people that I won't say the whole skit, but it does involve the line, "It's avocado, you cunt."
There's one that I can't quote it because it's a visual, but it's in my head, and I don't even know what the skit show was. It was like this guy charging at another guy, and the guy just puts his hand out with a fist, and he just slams right into it. And then there was also another one that's just another visual one where it's a guy sees a guy from a distance, he puts his fingers to his eye and just does the little like, "I'm crashing you, I'm crashing you." And I don't know why, but I'm childish, so I think they're funny.
There was some kids in the hall, I think.
Because it was like on TV like years ago.
Yeah, some kids in the hall was like, "I'm crushing your head."
Huh. I didn't even know what Kids in the Hall was then. It just was randomly on TV one day when I was very young, and I saw that and thought it was
Yeah,
funny.
I only know it because some person in my school kept saying that and doing that, and like I had to look, what is that from? I was like, "Oh, Kids in the Hall." I never watched that.
I don't even know what it was until
It was some like sketch Comedy Central or something show like that in the late 90s. I don't know. I never watched it. I was too young for it.
And to be fair, a number of like dumb shit from all of that and the Amanda Show are in my head rent free from when I was little.
I did watch all that, yes.
Dear Ashley, that's me!
So how have you been, Saber? How's your week been?
Pretty good. My mom doesn't have cancer.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah, she was worried about that for a few days.
Well, that's good news.
Yes, it is. And that's about it.
Yeah, there's kind of not much more to add to that.
Yeah.
No, my mom came back to get tested for cancer. She doesn't have cancer.
That's good.
Yay. So.
Cancer is checks notes bad? Yeah, bad. I mean, I wrote it.
That's
I mean,
controversial.
I put it in my notes, so it must be true.
That's controversial, man. Are you really sure you want to say that?
I mean, as I said, I opened with the most controversial thing I've ever said anyway. So, if we were gonna get cancelled, it would have been for that.
No, I think saying that cancer's bad might get us cancelled.
I don't know. I think saying the Superior Spider-Man suit sucks.
I'm sure there's somebody in the world who thinks cancer is good.
Cancer.
Cancer, it's good. Calls the weak.
And then they get cancer and like, wait, but not me!
Yes, it's like the Thanos snap. It's like, man, it would be great if half the people in the world just died, so there'd be more stuff for me. Wait, I'm not supposed to be in the half that died? No!
Ah!
Well,
The Thanos did nothing wrong for him.
yeah, I remember. It's what happens when you put your faith in a coin flip.
It's like, wait, no, I wasn't supposed to get banned. I was supposed to be in the fortunate half.
In less silly shit, I have been playing Sonic Superstars, and the game's pretty good. I don't like the boss fights because they're not built like how Sonic games usually are. There's a lot of you have to wait so you can hit them again. It's not like, you know, typical Sonic where you find the way to hit them and you just beat the living piss out of them until they die. So they're a little bit more like Mario in that regard, and I'm not really a fan of that. But I do think the game is pretty good.
That's good. Well, I guess in more Spider-Man news, I did watch the Sam Raimi trilogy again in preparation for Spider-Man 2.
And 3 is the best one, right?
I mean, I have had a slight epiphany about 3, mostly because a friend pointed it out to me, which is that if you basically cut out Sandman, you would have had, not a great movie, but you would have at least had
a better movie.
Because a lot of what drags the movie down is directly tied to Sandman.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they're good effects that still surprisingly hold up, but
honestly,
I don't understand. My daughter's sick, and that makes it okay for me to break the law.
Like honestly, the shot of him Spider-Man Peter putting Sandman's head to the fucking subway is really good.
Yeah, they're all good, but the problem is it's not really in service to anything the movie.
Yeah, but if you cut out Sandman, well, Peter gets the black suit, he goes around being a jerk, and then it goes to Venom.
Well, I would have had, I still would have kept the new Goblin stuff, because I actually think you could have done a
little bit more with the Goblin.
All right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot he's even in the movie.
So I would have had it so most of the movie is like Goblin. If we absolutely have to have Venom in the same movie, then it's like, okay, I think you do Goblin or New Goblin as your initial antagonist. Maybe he beats Spider-Man. Maybe he needs the black suit in order to beat Harry. And etc. becomes Jerk, and then Venom, but then also make Venom cool and not like Topher Grace.
We're not allowed to have good live action Venom.
We're not allowed to have good lots of things. So yeah, I was a bit concerned when I saw like the launch trailer for Spider-Man 2, which is the only other thing I've ever seen, and I saw Sandman's in the game, as well as Venom.
I can't. I wonder if when they do the last hunt bit and he's buried alive, if Uncle Ben is why he crawls out.
Yeah, that fucked up thing. In a semi-recent issue of Amazing Spider-Man Sabo, they decided to flashback they decided to have Aunt May do a whole spiel about, Uncle Ben taught you the value of being responsible and gave you this inner strength and blah blah blah. And the reason I bring it up is because it also then came with a flashback to the scene of Spider-Man digging himself out of the grave that Kraven the Hunter put him into. Now I don't know if you recall that scene in Kraven's Last Hunt.
No, but
Okay, so the reason I bring this up is that Peter Parker was thinking of someone when he climbed out of that, but it definitely wasn't Uncle Ben, because in the exact panel they show that conveniently doesn't have any of the text in, it literally has him screaming, "I love you," while thinking about MJ.
Yeah, we can't have that.
Yeah, but then they did have that, and it's like, well, of all fucking things you could throw in there, why throw that panel? Like, why
Maybe
not? If you're gonna do that shit, just do the one of him lifting up the building, because at least that one was for Aunt May.
maybe if we change it enough and piss off enough of the old readers that they leave, people will forget all about Mary Jane.
And then we'll have no readers. Wait, hold on.
No, we'll have that new theoretical, youthful, untainted audience that will just consume our product and not have any complaints because they have no frame of reference for comparison because they didn't read the old stuff.
I hate to break it to you, they don't read shit in general.
Yeah, they don't seem to catch that. They're just like, well, maybe we'll just keep hoping one day we'll suddenly get like a million reader audience that never followed our stuff before and just reads without complaining.
That will never happen.
I know that'll never happen, but
You can't possibly think that'll happen. That'd be ridiculous.
oh, they think it'll happen.
Listen, those dwindling numbers just mean eventually those numbers will be bigger.
I mean, don't worry. I'm sure if they shit on manga or something, some more.
This is the same company that well, not the same company. This was Sony, but they had a thing where it's like, I'm sorry, 1 second. I have to kill this horrific bug that I just noticed is crawling around.
Sabo confirmed for a Spider-Man villain.
Can't believe it.
Wait. I can't believe it, honestly.
I didn't know he had it in him.
I think if any of us were going to become a supervillain, it'd be me, but then Sabo would be like close second.
So you're saying I'm the least likely to be a supervillain?
Yeah, you're more like, if I say this, it's going to sound really mean, but it's like, you're more like, the helper character, the one who's, the sarcastic one who's got to sit on the side. And you're like, the old bots to Eggman.
Scratch and grounder.
Yeah.
Ah, doofus!
Am I wrong?
You gotta try some of this booze!
Yeah, exactly. See, you're already having fun. All I did was put the idea in your head. And you're already like, yeah, this is my life's calling. You're just waiting for your the costume criminal to show up at your door and be like, "Let us go, Dan."
I've never seen a beetle that big before in my life. I don't know how it got in my house.
What color was it?
It was brown.
Oh,
It wasn't a cockroach. It was too thin for that. I don't know. I decided to spare it, so I just threw it out the window instead of crushing it.
he really is a stupid. He really has become a super villain. Ah, now that I've got you, Brown Beetle, I could kill you, but where's the fun in that?
I could kill you, but that wouldn't be very sporting, now would it?
I threw it out the window and imagined it was Rooster Teeth as I was doing so.
You know what's funny is that despite everything, they still announced like a new, like, really highly detailed Ruby statue.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course they're going to milk that merch till the end of time.
It's true. I mean, the character designs are good.
Or they're gonna milk that merch until they straight up, go out of business.
I think I'll be fair. The old character designs are still fucking good. Like, they look nice. I'm not gonna pretend that they don't.
Yeah, they're alright. I wouldn't have a statue of them though.
I don't think I get a statue just because it's like, yeah, I like the designs, but I don't care about the characters that much. So it's like, eh. Not really. I'd rather get a statue of a character that I'm a fan of, not just one that I think looks nice, if I'm gonna have one.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, yeah, you can have the Ruby statue, looks nice, but, I mean, there's a Yuri from Street Fighter one right there. I'd rather that. Because I like Yuri, because she's cool.
Well, good. But hey.
I actually have seen other people now, like, that weren't before now, like, I don't know if Ruby's getting another season, guys. So, it's not just us, I can say now. Because I've seen it from other people now that aren't, like, Ruby hater people. like us.
I mean, we already declared that Sabo had officially won.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like, I've seen, like, people that aren't, like, us, essentially. Like, we're going to say it, because of course we're going to.
This is true.
It's different when it's somebody that's unrelated completely. I'm like, huh. They don't have the bias that we have.
You say bias, I say facts.
Listen, he said it, not me. He said it, not me. He said it, not me. He said it, not me.
Oh, that's hardly the most controversial thing. Once again, I said the superior Spider-Man suit sucks.
Yeah, but anybody who thinks it's good is wrong. And also Dan Slott.
So that's what I've been saying, but people are still like, oh man, why is this suit not in? Why do you have this suit? And I'm like, literally, I would take a shit on a piece of paper and then say, here's your suit design before I would pick superior Spider-Man.
More like inferior Spider-Man.
Yeah, am I right?
Got him.
Or like overweight Spider-Man.
Oh, you're the most evil person now! You called him fat!
Yeah. Who's the real villain, Spider-Man? The guy who tried to blow up the entire world, or the guy who called that guy fat? It's you, Dr. Octopus. It's always you.
It has the same energy of, like, in Left 4 Dead, when they do a joke where it's like, who are the real monsters here? The zombies, you idiot! And someone, like, graffiti in response to it saying, the zombies, you idiot!
I mean, Left 4 Dead is not a story. It's not a story about, you know, man being the real monster. It's about 4 people just trying to survive, and one of them that even doesn't.
It's true, he does die.
Rip Bill.
Maybe he shouldn't have been drinking so much. And getting arrested.
These things happen.
That's actually what happened to his actor, and that's why he died. It's not a joke.
Oh.
This isn't a joke, it's literally why they killed him off.
Oh. You got Chris Larton, gotcha.
Yeah! This wasn't a bit!
Well,
sometimes it's not a bit.
Sometimes it's not always about being funny. It's like how video games aren't about having fun anymore, or whatever it is the Naughty Dog guy said.
Listen.
Oh yeah, did you hear the hot Naughty Dog news about their new game that's coming out?
Oh, the one that I don't know if I ever mentioned in video, but I knew this was happening for a while because it got leaked. But go ahead.
Yeah, we're getting The Last of Us Part 2. You might be thinking, but Train, we already have The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, but now it's remastered. Anyway.
Yeah, the remastered version, again. So, just think about it this way. On the PS5, you can play The Last of Us Remastered, The Last of Us 2, The Last of Us 2 Remastered, all on the same system!
Well, you know what I could do? I could not. I could just not play any of those.
Isn't this... Like and looking at that, it's like, yeah, I can't imagine why I have no interest in a PS5.
There are good games on the PS5, but it's like...
But are good games that are exclusive other than Spider-Man? And also Spider-Man's not even, because eventually it's going to come on Steam as well, because he has a 2 game on Steam.
I mean... half of God of War Ragnarok is good. It's just...
I don't really care for God of War, so...
It's just real buried in there. And sandwiched between a lot of shit.
I don't really care for God of War, so... fire another shot.
I'll have to turn around and look at my shelf, and I can't do that, so...
Ratchet & Clank is also on Steam, too, as well, before you, if you look at that and think of that.
I already knew it was on there, so I wasn't going to say it.
Alright, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting there's the Kong game that's coming out.
Oh, it came out!
Oh, is it?
The Skull Island Rise of Kong?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out. It's not good.
I mean, it didn't look good.
Nah. But, it's a fucking rushed license title. Of course it's not gonna be good. There were weirdos who were trying to say, like, haha, where are those people now who say they want, games that aren't as high fidelity, where developers don't have to work as much? Where are they now? It's like, this is literally a rushed license game. Can you try this again? Anyway, here's Freedom Planet 2 and Hades games that weren't rushed or crunched.
I'm surprised. It seems like they gave up on rushed license games a while ago in favor of,
Well, this one is based.
cell phone shovelware.
So this one is it's still a licensed title. It's not based on the movies. It's based on the books by somebody DeVito. I can't remember his first name, but his last name is DeVito, and I remember that because of Danny DeVito.
I guess it's not Danny DeVito, is it?
No, it's not Danny DeVito.
I'd be amazed if Danny DeVito was to suddenly make some King Kong books.
Hey, here's my King Kong book, my magnum opus.
Also,
I mean, Michael Caine is writing books now.
Yeah, but he's also old. He's like fucking 90 and also retired from acting.
I'm gonna say so is Danny DeVito. He's
Yeah,
not. He's not quite that old, but he's like.
I mean, he still does Always Sunny.
Yeah.
He'll do that until either he dies or it dies.
One of the two. Whichever comes first. Hopefully it dying, because I'd like Danny DeVito just to live forever. He won't, but I would love him to. I don't have anything to add to that. I just like Danny DeVito.
I mean, as someone who is not a King Kong fan, kind of always find the whole thing of, oh, but what about prequels to King Kong? It's like, oh, great, we can see him when he's a slightly smaller monkey.
But oh yeah, I did have. Oh yeah, I did have one response when I said it's a fucking Rush license title. Someone tried to go like, I don't know. It could be one of those games where they were told they didn't have to work very hard and it wasn't Rush, and I was like, yeah, in the game industry, the industry famous for that, and this is a very common thing that happens in the game industry, and this totally isn't coped by you, and then they blocked me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess he couldn't cope.
Maybe he's just a really big ape. Maybe he's just a really big Kong fan.
I can't believe they exist.
Well, people are weird.
It's true.
Meanwhile, I'm like,
give me the lizard.
It's not even just that. Gorillas kind of suck.
Yeah.
Like I think I've said before, there's like, for an animal that everyone's like, oh, they're so big and tough. It's like, they lose like every fight against any big cat ever.
It's true. It's actually why when they do that thing, it's like, hey, would you like to be in the mall with? And it's all these things, and one of them's like, the one thing you have to deal with is a single silverback gorilla. And I'm like, I'll deal with the gorilla. I just don't smile at it and I don't look it in the eyes. That's it. And I can just survive the night and then make my money.
The fucking stupidest thing.
Just let it have all the food at once. Just be a little hungry for a night. It's fine.
All their big physical strength. You know how they fight? They bite. They're biters.
Yeah. Mind you, they'll still kill you if they bite you, but as like I said,
yeah.
They're very easy to deal with because you just do what I described and it's fine. People are like, oh, what about if it was just like, a couple of snakes or smaller? It's like I think it was like Python or some shit, like something ridiculous that's actually very dangerous. I'm like, that is worse because it will actually try to kill you. Where the gorilla will just be sitting there in the food court eating shit and just stay away from the food court.
Snakes are a lot harder to keep track of.
Yeah, a big gorilla is easy to keep track of. Hell, if you really want, just pick one of the bigger stores that he's not in currently, close it up, and just go there for the day.
You have an entire mall to evade one animal. Feel like.
And also, he's not even like actively aggressive. As long as you don't try to, challenge him, he won't actively attack you.
I mean, to be fair, even most predatory animals you could actually probably deal with, because if their food court has any food in it, and like. Because the common misconception about predatory animals is, oh, they'll just always attack. It's like, no. They'll attack for basically three reasons. Or, three reasons. Either, number one, they're injured. Number two, they're hungry. Or number three, they're, young is there. And their instincts to protect it.
Or they're feeling threatened.
It's like, why do they think, like, if you see, like, animals around a watering hole, why does a lion and a zebra happily sit next to each other when they drink? Oh, yes, because when they're drinking, they're not hungry.
Yeah.
Except for dolphins, they'll just kill you for fun. Because dolphins
are bastards.
The dolphins are bastards.
I've never met a dolphin that I didn't think was a bastard. Echo the Dolphin is video game's greatest monster, I'm just saying.
It really is. Alright, I think this is a good place to stop, I think? Because I know it's gonna pop off.
I think we even have a video
this.
title. Although we do video titles.
Yeah, I stopped doing those.
Or editing. Or anything, really. We'll never even know if the one image
it's in there.
thumbnail or not. Oh, it is in there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
good.
did put that in the video. It's
Okay.
rendered. I just have to upload it, and it's the last one that needs to be uploaded. They're all the other ones are uploaded. I've been making them live.
Oh. I'll look forward to it because nobody is born perfect, except of course.
Perfect celluloid. Time to leave.